Hi, you've received this video because you're a member of the 24/7 gym at the Fitness Lair and you've expressed interest in getting to know the rowing machine. In this video, I'll take you through setting up, warming up, we'll go through a short workout together and a cool down, and we'll put the machine away so that you can feel confident right from the very first time that you use the machine at the gym. My name is Shauna Hammer. I'm a coach at the Fitness Lair. I coach CrossFit, rowing, Special Olympics, and powerlifting. In my own training, I found that I was really slow with rowing and it was frustrating. So I invested some time and a lot of practice getting to know the machine better, and I'm really excited to share what I've learned with you. And one of the things that I learned was that while the rowing machine is an amazing part of high intensity interval training, it is an excellent exercise and sport in its own right. It is safe, low impact, and really enjoyable for people of all ages and walks of life. So I want to take you through the machine today and get you comfortable right from the start. So let's go through the parts of the machine together. The very first thing I want to bring your attention to is this area called the flywheel. So there's a wheel in here that rotates around, and we actually make that wheel move by pulling on the chain that's attached to the handle. Right on the side of that flywheel is damper. So when the damper is down at a 1, there's very little air getting into the machine. And when it's up at a 10, there's lots of air coming into the machine. Lots of air coming into the machine means the wheel slows down very quickly. If you haven't rowed before, I'm going to suggest that you keep your damper somewhere between a 3 and a 5. That really works well for most people. From there, this is the handle, and there's a hook here that we can place that handle in. This area is called the foot flex, and this is going to house each of your feet. And then this long piece at the back is called the monorail, and the seat glides on that monorail. The last piece of the machine, which is really important, is the performance monitor. So I want to bring this forward and adjust it so that I can look at it at eye level the whole time that I'm sitting on the machine. So I want you to join me on the machine now. You can keep your video going and we'll go through the machine together, and we'll start doing a row here so that you're feeling confident. So my eyes are at monitor level. I've pulled that handle down into the hook. I've checked to make sure that my damper is between a 3 and 5, and I'm going to set up my feet. So for most people, I want to see that strap sitting at the widest part or the ball of the foot. So if you need to adjust those foot stretchers, it's really easy to do. We pull up on the tab and you can just shift it around. So my feet are about a 7.5, and I set mine at a 3, and that puts the strap right at the ball of my foot. Now, that might be different for different people, but that's a great place to start. That's where most people will get the best use out of the machine. So I'm going to loosen off that strap a little bit, tuck my foot up in there, heel comes securely down, and then pull the strap inwards, pull the straps inwards to tighten them up. And let's get them nice and tight. So from here, if I straighten out my legs, I can actually pick up my butt cheeks a bit, and that gives me that really nice forward lean so that I'm moving from my sit bones, and my sit bones, I can actually feel them in the seat. And now we're going to grab the handle, and I want to get you rowing right away. So let's grab our handle, and when you grab your handle, I want your pinkies getting very close to the edge of the handle. A nice relaxed grip, more in the fingertips than in the palms, and our thumbs are around. And I want you to join me by extending your legs and coming all the way to the back of the machine. So I'm in a lay back position. It's just a gentle lay back. If you were to look at the clock, I'd be at about 11 o'clock right now. And we're calling this the finish position. So the handle is just under my bra line. It's above your belly button if you don't have one of those. And my arms are relatively flat, so I don't want them curled in. The elbows are going to be behind the body, and that the whole arm is going to be relatively flat. From here, all we're going to do is release the hands. And we're going to do this a few times to get the sensation of allowing the back muscles to really pull that handle in to the sternum and then release to a full extension. And from here, I want you to pause for a second, and we're going to move our body over. So I've moved from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. We're going to go through those two motions now. So body comes open, hands come in, hands release, body comes open. And we'll go through that together a few times. And as I'm coming ahead, I want you to notice where my hands are. They end up quite far above my shin. I would say like middle shin, and my legs are still straight. And that's important because we want to maintain that the whole time we're using a full stroke. From here, I want you to pause here. We're just going to pop those knees a little bit. And then we're going to straighten those knees. Open up those hips and pull. And let's put that together. Pop. Pop the knees, body comes back. Arms, arms, body, knees. And let's take that a little further so that we're popping up a little more. So the knees come down, body comes open, and then the arms follow. And let's take that up a little, even a little further up the slide. And you can hear now that that machine is really starting to work. So I'm thinking very hard about letting my knees press down first before that body is coming open. And now we're going to take it all the way to the front of the machine. So at the front here, my body is in a nice forward position. Legs come down, body comes open, arms. Legs come down, body comes open, arms. And let's get fluid through here. Follow along with me. We're going nice and slow. Legs, body, arms, arms, body, legs. Legs, body, arms, arms, body, legs. Good. And I want you to rest. You can set your handle in that hook. And I'll invite you to take your feet out of the stretchers just to give yourself a break while I do a little more talking. So the easiest way to get yourself out of the foot position is to grab underneath and then use your thumb to press against the thumb piece, that plastic spot. You can pull up with your foot a little bit. Once that's loosened off, kick your foot up and out. So hand goes under, thumb pushes down, kick up and out. Sometimes you can get a little bit trapped in that foot flex because there's a little bit of a hook here that keeps your heel nice and sturdy. And so if you know how to get out quickly, that's going to make you feel more confident on the machine. So there's 4 parts to our stroke. 2 parts are moments and 2 parts are movements. So the first moment we want to think about is up at the front here, and this is called the catch position. So I'm thinking that my back is nice and tall, my head is pointing towards the roof, my hands are relaxed on the handle, my elbows are straight, my body is leaning forward in that 1 o'clock position, and I've got a fair bit of compression or tension. I can feel some effort in my legs here. Notice that my shoulders are ahead of my hips and that my shin is as up and down as you can get it. So this is called the catch position. And then the next position is a movement, and it is the drive. This is the most important part of the stroke. This is where all of the work happens. So to initiate the drive, the legs push down, and then the body opens, and finally we finish with the arms. So that's the full drive. So from the catch, it looks like this: legs, body, arms. So this is the finished position. This is where you met me when we first started our warm-up. And in this position, I'm in about an 11 o'clock position, and my shoulders are still nice and down away from my ears. My hands are as level as possible, and knees are nice and open. And again, this is just a moment. We're just here for just a brief second, and then the hands start pushing away, and the body comes over, and the knees start bending again. This is called recovery. Recovery is a movement. So we get back into that beautiful catch position where our body is forward. So one more time, this is the catch. Drive, legs, body, arms, arms, body, legs. That last moment there, that last movement is called the recovery. And that should be effortless. It should be very relaxed, and it should be slower than our drive. So I've done a lot of talking, but what you want to do is a lot of moving. So we're going to get started, and we're actually going to use the monitor to go through an interval workout. So I find that it's easier to reach the monitor if my feet are out. So you go ahead and keep your feet out, and we'll set up our monitor now. So you'll see 3 buttons along the bottom: unit, display, menu. I want you to push menu. And then we're going to go to the 4th button down, new workout. And we're going to use that 4th button again, intervals. We're going to use intervals time, which is the 2nd button down. So I see on my monitor set time, and the 1 is flashing. That's perfect. That's exactly where we want it to stay. So at the very top button is an arrow, and I can use that arrow to go all the way to just under rest time. You'll see a 0 flashing. Once that 0 is flashing, hit the plus sign so that there's a 1. So I'm seeing set time 1, set rest time 1. Now I'm going to use the check mark at the bottom button down, and the machine is all set up to actually take us through an interval workout. Now the machine is going to measure all of the work that's being done by the rower, meaning you. And the other thing it keeps track of is our strokes per minute. So we're not going to worry too much about how much work we're doing today, how many meters or how many calories or how many watts. We're just going to focus on using the machine, getting the sequence right, getting the mechanics right. So let's get our feet set up. Secure those straps. Get nice and tall. Come forward into that perfect catch position. So again, at that catch position, spine is nice and tall, arms are open and elbows are straight, shoulders are down from our ears, and we're in a little bit of a compression, a little bit of discomfort here. And we really want to start pushing our legs down. And so that's what we're going to do. Ready? And we're going to push the legs down, body open, arms, arms, body, legs. And now, if you follow along with me, we're going to keep practicing each of those positions for 1 minute. So legs drive. Legs, body, arms, arms, body, legs. Legs, body, arms, arms, body, legs. So here we're at the catch, drive, we get to that finish position, and then we recover. And we recover slower than we drive. A drive should be a lot of effort. A recovery should not. And now we're going to paddle. Paddle means we're putting no effort into pushing our feet into the machine. It's a very passive movement. We want to keep our mechanics, but you can see that you don't have to put much effort into the machine at all to continue moving through the stroke. And this rest, this paddle, gives us a minute to lower our heart rate, lower our breathing rate, and get set to work again in the next interval. And we have 10 seconds left in our rest. And we're going to pick up the Here we go. So continuing to think about hitting each of those positions. And I'm holding at an 18 strokes per minute. And I invite you to stay here with me. So I drive hard through that drive, pushing my feet into the machine, and then relax and let the machine do the work as I float back in to that strong catch position to get ready for the next drive. More seconds. Remaining patient through that recovery phase. And we're going to paddle again, which means you're pressing no effort into the machine, into the legs, just going through the motion. So I want you to continue to do that. And I want to show you one thing that can happen as we're trying to learn the stroke and maybe not learning it so efficiently. So one thing you will see is people having to move that handle up and around the knees. And this is really inefficient. So what I want you to do is really think about getting those hands over those shins before those knees start popping up. And if you do that, those hands make a really nice box that those knees can pop into without having to lift the handle over the knees. All right, are you ready to go again? Here we go, drive. We're going to pick up the pace a little this time. We're going to take it to 20 strokes per minute. So you can see that either in the bottom left-hand corner or the top right-hand corner, depending on where your monitor is. So if you follow along with me, we should be on a 20 stroke per minute pace. And I still want that recovery to be longer than my drive. About letting that body come over and that your arms get long before the knees start moving on that recovery. And we'll rest again through that paddle, and I'll encourage you to continue paddling. Light, effortless work here. Really thinking about slowing down on that recovery. So another thing that we see with people just learning the machine is they feel like it's a really strong arm movement. And I really start pulling those arms early because they feel like they can get more energy out of the machine. The machine actually works best when we get 60% of our work through our legs, 30% of our work through that body over position, and 10% from our arms. So our arms shouldn't be bending early and working hard here. So keep those arms long until that body swings open. And let's go one more time. This is our last interval. We'll work hard for 60 seconds and then we'll paddle for a further 60 seconds to cool down. Thinking about working hard to press those knees down in the initial drive of the stroke. Hitting that full open position at the back and then coming into that body forward strong catch position where our heels might even be up a little bit, but they come down and we press through the middle of the foot in that drive. And paddle. So we've made it through our first workout, folks. Good work. And we're just going to continue paddling for another 60 seconds to bring that heart rate down, bring that respiratory rate down, and really exaggerate that recovery phase. Another 30 seconds. So the better we get these mechanics, the more safe, effective, and efficient we'll be on the rower. If you are somebody who's going to be rowing for long periods of time, it will do you very well to learn these positions, slow down your stroke rate a little bit, and just get really comfortable. All right. I'm going to get you to put the handle in the handle hook. Well done. We're going to release our feet again. So again, we feel around underneath our feet. Use those thumb plastics and push, kick up, kick up. Just stay seated where you're at for a minute. And I want you to bring one foot back up onto the foot flex. And we're just going to round forward and stretch out the back of this leg for 30 seconds. So when we put effort in to our exercising, whatever our exercising is, it's really nice to be able to cool down our body and bring that heart rate back down. It's just kind. It's kind to your body. It helps you recover. And we'll switch to the other side. So this foot goes on the floor. The other foot just sits in top of the foot flex, and we'll lean forward, and you can even let yourself soften and round into that, thinking about stretching the back of that leg. Now, an important aspect of stretching is we should never take it to a point of pain. Stretching is not the place for feeling extreme discomfort. It should be gentle. We should be able to feel it. There should be some sensation there, but it should not be painful. And I'm going to get you to put both feet on the floor now. Bring one leg up and cross the ankle over the other knee. Sit nice and tall here, and you should feel a stretch in through the outside of your leg. If that's not enough of a stretch for you, you can lean forward, and if you still need a little more, you can put a little pressure on this knee. And we'll switch sides. So this foot comes to the floor, this ankle comes up onto the knee, seating nice and tall, feeling that stretch through the side of the leg. If you need to, you can lean forward a little more, and you can add some pressure gently to the knee and really feel that side of your leg stretch out. Good work, folks. So you've been through setting up the machine, doing a warm-up. We did an interval workout, which you can see will be very versatile in your own training. And we've done a cool down. The last thing we need to do is putting the machine away. And because we are in a commercial facility, it's really important that we are sanitizing every time. So in the facility, you will see that there are always spray bottles of sanitizer available and clean rags. So to put the machine away, the first thing I want you to do is sanitize the flywheel area, especially the position handle. We're going to leave that down at a 1. That's just so that it's ready for the next person, and we're not leaving things undone. And then the next piece will be that performance monitor. We're going to tuck that back down to protect it. Ideally, handle always goes back into the cage when we're done using it. So we're going to use the spray on the monorail, the seat. Make sure you get the thumb pieces. You're going to use the spray on the handles. You can use the rag to wipe it down. And again, we used the spray and the rag to wipe down the damper. When it comes to the monitor, the only thing I want you to do is to take your damp cloth and just lightly clean the buttons especially, and just generally do a light dusting of it. So we never want to spray directly onto that performance monitor. It is a computer, it is not waterproof, so we need to be gentle with that piece of the machine. So hopefully you are feeling more confident in using the rowing machine at the fitness Lair. And I want to invite you to reach out to us if you have questions, if you're looking for some one-on-one coaching, or if you're interested in getting some rowing workouts. I've got a ton of different ideas at my disposal, and I think you'll find it to be a very fun and enjoyable experience. I have a bonus for you, and the bonus is there's this little flap here, and you might be curious why. So I'm going to show you that because if you enjoy the rowing so much that you decide to invest in a machine yourself, I want you to see how portable this machine is, how easy it is to store this in your own space. So at our commercial facility, we are fortunate to have a floor space where you're just going to leave the machine seated right where it is, and that's its home. Now, you'll also see, if you look in the CrossFit gym, the way that we store them there is we lift up the machine, and I don't have enough clearance to quite move it up, but you can store it on its nose. It will stand perfectly vertical. So that bonus. This little flap will actually open up and release two pieces of the machine so that you have a very portable, very storable machine. You can take these two pieces and tuck them away in a closet, tuck them away in a bedroom. You can take this machine to the lake with you. The whole thing weighs about 65 pounds, so it's extremely portable. And to put it back together, there's a groove here, and there is a silver bar here. So we're going to connect those. And then start to press down. Now this is a little more challenging with rug. It goes a little smoother with a flat floor, but we're going to make it work here. And when it comes perfectly level, I want to push down on that flap to make sure that it's nice and secure before I start using the machine. So I hope you enjoy using your rower, getting some practice in the rowing technique, and getting the most out of your fitness. Have fun.